Hello everyone, Shkarterio here. So welcome to round 3 for the Exhibition 1 series of the GTWS Nations Cup 2026. So in GT7. So this time we are at Red Bull Ring. So as you can see there, I'm going to start in P11. So this was my second race. My first race I decided to go with the Porsche 911, but things didn't really go that well. Ended up having a lot of track limit penalties and also an incident with another driver, which made me lose a lot of positions at the beginning of the race. So also I didn't really enjoy driving the Porsche 911. There were two cars there going off track, so I decided to try and pick a different car. So this time I decided to get from behind there and losing a lot of position, so right from the get-go, losing 2 spots. Like I said, so I then just decided to try the Ferrari 296. So, and I immediately did a fast lap, so free practice, and so I just decided to go with the Ferrari. So like I said, so I was trying a bit of redemption because of the race that I had done previously. Since things didn't really go very well, and I ended up having a lot of track limit penalties. Just trying to see if I could avoid that this time. So this car felt like had a bit more of rotation through the turns, so just felt a bit better. So this was a 25 lap race. Just trying to avoid the driver there. And so I had to pick once. I had to use both the medium and soft tires. Again, I was just trying to give some room there to MG Maestro. Had a better exit there, but really lots of skills out, just tried to bump him good. He could maybe escape the pack behind. I was starting to notice that the was making a few mistakes with turns, so I thought that he probably maybe slow us down a bit, so I thought it was probably better to overtake him. Because I felt like we were losing a bit of time. Started fighting a lot, as you can see there, so we would start immediately losing a lot of time to the front pack. this race we also had a choice of 5 cars. So the Ferrari 296, the Porsche 911, and then the McLaren 650S, also the Lamborghini Huracan, and what's the other one? Ferrari, Lamborghini, and there was another car. So most of them were MR cars, apart from the Porsche 911, since it says RR, so it has rear engine, rear wheel drive. Oh, I remember it now. So the other car was the Audi R8, the LMS Evo version. So dim sum there, and some issues going off track, which allowed me to gain another spot. So now we're P9. 2 places up in my starting position. That was P11. Yes, as you can see there, here I was starting to pull away from the pack behind, so I was feeling that I was faster than them. The next goal was to try and catch the pack ahead, because I knew that also slipstream could be very important in order to keep up with them. As you can see there, so they were all just following each other, so which made it a bit more difficult for me to catch them, since I didn't have the slipstream. I was improving on my laps, even on the medium tires, which I decided to start good. So Kevin there, I think, had a penalty. The Spanish driver. Also knew that he was a fast driver from what I could see in qualifying, so and I wasn't really sure if he was on the soft tires or not, so I didn't want to force any issues. I was just going to follow him, but he just decided to go defensive. Even though that wasn't really my intention, so I didn't really want to go for that move, just wanted to follow him, see if maybe I could take advantage of his slipstream as well. Yeah, so he was on the soft tires, as you can see here. Around the mediums, soft, mediums for the Russian driver, mediums also for the German driver, Guernsey, also softs and mediums. So the Romanian driver, first place, was on the medium tires in the Audi R8. I felt like maybe I could have tried the Audi R8. Felt okay, but let me just check most of the drivers behind me. So mediums. Oh, what's happening here, but really fighting each other. So yeah, everyone I guess behind me was on the medium tire. I don't know, I have a feeling like something is going to happen between these two. During the race, but yeah, just drifting off track. So not really a good display of sportsmanship. So here between Jim's son and this is the Austrian driver, Bridgestone. Yeah, exactly. There, so also Kevin, the subtitle is already overtaking some of the other cars. At this point I was trying to think which lap I should hit. So in my previous race I decided to pit at the end of lap 10 with a Porsche 911, and I tried to go for an undercut since things weren't really going very well. To try and take advantage of the soft tires. So in this case I wasn't really sure about what I should do, since I think the Ferrari has higher wear than the Porsche 911, because at the end of this race I felt like the tires on the Ferrari were already not having the performance that for example the Porsche had. So at the end of the race, to end up taking the same decision as in my previous race. So I'm going to pit at the end of lap 10. So at the end of this lap, so Kevin is having some issues again. was also maybe pushing too hard, so we can just see what happened to him. We're already in P4. Not sure if there was any contact between the two, but no, he just spun out. He spun out. He lost control of the back of the car there. Like I said, he was probably pushing too hard as well, so making some mistakes as well. But again, so I had Spanish driver just behind me again. I knew he was probably going to send it there. So again, I didn't really want to fight that hard. Just because he had better tires than me. I decided to go to the pits. So at this point I wasn't really sure if that was going to be a good idea, because like I said, I mean, I knew that the Ferrari 296 had worse tire wear than the Porsche 911, but I wasn't really sure. How worse it would be to compare to the others. Coming out of the pits in P13, at least with some breathing room there. We had Spanish driver and some German driver behind me. So now I knew that I had to push as hard as I could. Trying to see if maybe I could gain a few more spots. The Maestro there decides to pit one lap after me. At the end of lap 11. Also going into the soft tires. Because of that, I knew that I had to try and push as hard as I could now at this point, because since my tire wear would be in a more critical situation at the end of the race, so that I was probably going to lose a bit of time at the end. So Alex Yu, the Romanian driver, was in P1, so pitted to change onto the soft tires. Really well, especially because he was on the medium tires. A really fast driver. Also, I should mention that in terms of the normal strategy, I guess, so most drivers, from what I could see, they were pitting at the end of lap 12 or 13 before changing their tires. Parway, the French driver, also has some issues in the previous lap, so he was now ahead of me. And he's also fighting with Bridgeton, the Austrian driver. To take the Austrian driver that was in the pits. A bit deep there, so also I didn't really reduce the gears there, lower the gears. I don't know why, but the controller was just feeling a bit strange. Sometimes I felt like it wasn't really reducing the gears or the speed in the way I was hoping. It felt a bit strange for a couple of laps, which made me feel a bit worried because I felt like I could probably start losing a bit of time with the drivers behind me. And there's already a big group starting to form behind me. As you can see there on the map. There was MG Maestro, the Pricken, the Pa there. Bridgeton was far too behind compared to the others. I had 3 drivers behind me. The French driver wasn't really that far away. I was trying to catch him, but like I said, having some issues at this point, so I felt like I was losing a bit of time. Someone was having an issue there. the Swiss driver, Renner. We're already in lap 17. I was in P9, so at this point I thought that maybe this was going to be the best that I was going to get. So in terms of result, since at this point of the race I thought that anyone had already hit it. There, I can already see 3 cars ahead of me. And I was thinking that probably my only hope was that they started fighting a bit with each other. Because almost all of them are so tired at this point, apart from the rider. And then here, so Alcyon is needing tires, so is Dimson. Dimson, yeah, so he hadn't hit it because I was ahead of him before, so. I guess most other drivers have already changed their tires. starting lap 20. So Hugo was in the pits as well, so changed tires, and Dim Sun as well. So yeah, like I said, there were maybe a couple of drivers that still had to pit. But at this point I wasn't really aware of that, so then I realized that when they pitted that I was going to get 2 more positions, and I was already now in P7. I was really happy with the way things were going, even though at the same time I was kind of worried because I knew that my tires were going to have a big drop, especially in the last few laps. Last couple of laps. As you can see there, so Engine Maestro and that packet behind me, so it's also trying to catch up with me. They were catching me, but at the same time I was also catching the 2 drivers ahead of me. Four more laps to go. Around this point that I need to feel my tires go a bit. obviously, yeah, so I started struggling there a bit, because like I was going to say, so obviously it would have been better, so if I had someone to work with, to take advantage of the slipstream as well, and maybe to bump trap each other a bit. But since I felt like most drivers weren't really willing to work together, so that's why I just decided to quit earlier and just do the race kind of on my own for most of the time. More laps to go, and like I said, at this point, so I was already starting to struggle on these tires. Especially because I knew that I had to keep pushing as hard as I could, because if not, the big pack ahead of me, which now had 4 cars, you can see there on the map, will start catching me really quickly. Also in the final lap, so obviously I had already realized that I wasn't going to catch anyone else ahead of me, so just decided to take things easy. So try not to push too hard and not to make any mistakes in this final lap. So P7 was already a good result. Yeah, especially because I was the only driver in this race, so the Ferrari as well. So finishing in P7. So you can see there, so the Swiss driver was starting to catch me as well, and he was in the medium tires, but so since the mediums were much better at this point in terms of tire wear, so he was starting to catch me as well. But like I said, so P7, so I was really happy with that, a bit of redemption compared to the previous race. So with the Gran Turismo, the F3500A car, so kind of old Formula 1 car. So I hope you have enjoyed this race, and I will see you again soon.